Hi, I'm Susan. Learning any new software can be hard. I don't care how easy it is, there's new menu commands and new icons. It's like when you get in an elevator and the open door button is never in the same place. Sometimes all you need is a quick overview and a translation guide. Like when I get in that elevator, do I press 1 for first floor, L for lobby, or G for ground? Let's get started on our quick overview. When you're ready to sign in to your CRM, you'll just type in crm.zoho.com in the address bar of any browser that you want to log in with. Chrome, Internet Explorer, or Safari, though I think Chrome is the best option. Once you've entered that, click the Sign In button at the upper right corner. Log in with your email address, either the one you used to sign up with or the one that your company assigned to you, and then enter your password. You can click the Keep Me Signed In option if you like. It will remember your email address, but it won't remember the password you enter. Then click Sign In. When you log into the Zoho CRM app, the first page you will always see is the home page, a dashboard that gives you an overview of what's going on in your Zoho. Since this is an overview, we'll cover it last. When we start, you'll notice that there is a menu bar at the top of the screen that covers all of the modules that are included in your edition of Zoho CRM. In this video, I want to discuss or focus on just a few of the modules that are available: the leads, accounts, contacts, deals, and activities, and discuss in particular what each of them means. Let's start with just a high-level overview, and then we'll come back and look at each one. Leads represents people that you really aren't sure if they'll actually be good contacts for you. They may be someone that you met at a networking event, it may be leads that you imported from a trade show, or ones that came from a website sign-up. When you first enter them in the system, you may not even know whether they're worth keeping in your database until you find out more about them. In this case, I only have one lead in the database. We'll look at it in more detail in just a minute. For now, let's continue with our overview. So, what is an account? Many times people look at the accounts module and think that accounts means companies that we do business with. As in, I have an account at this store. In Zoho, accounts means companies. When this lead is converted in our sales process, it will create an account or company called Yellow Jersey Bikes. It doesn't mean that we've actually done business with them yet. It just means that they are a company that we intend to quote or hope to work with. So accounts will hold a mixture of client and prospect companies. If there's more than one contact that works at Yellow Jersey Bikes, I will see one account and multiple contacts that belong to the same account. In this case, an account record is a great way for getting an overview of all of the accounts that work there, all of the activities that are planned with that company, all of the notes that have been written, and all of the deals that are in play, all on one account record. Contacts, of course, is the module that contains all of the contacts that we work with or hope to work with. The deals module are what many people call opportunities or potentials. This module would contain all open, won, or lost opportunities that our company has. Activities module is a list of all open and closed activities that have been entered into the database to indicate tasks or meetings or calls related to records in the database. So enough overview. Let's go back and look at each record. I'm going to start with leads and click on my lead, Lance Parks. When it opens, I can see some generic information about Lance. At the top of the screen, I see who's the current owner. I'm signed in as Bill Wonderful, so Lance is my lead. I can see Lance's email and phone number and other pieces of information. This top section is called the business card area. If you don't see this additional information below it, you may need to click the Show Details link. If any tasks are scheduled for the current record, they will display here as a reminder in this shaded information area below the business card area. As I scroll down the page, you will see the information that we're capturing on Lance or any of our leads. What title does he hold? Do I have a mobile or a fax number? Is there a website that I have? Lead sources, revenues. You can customize Zoho very easily to include whatever fields that you'd like to have on each of your records. Notice, by the way, that the business card area is repeated information. So I see his email here, and I also see it here. I see the phone here, and I see it here. If I enter a mobile phone here in the business card area, as soon as I click Save, it automatically appears on the record in the bottom area. Notice how easy it was to make a change. I can use the Edit button at the top right to edit all of the fields at once, or I can just edit one field at a time. The lead status, for example, also displays in two areas on the screen. When I point to any field, the Edit button pops up. So if I want to change the lead status for Lance, I can click the Edit icon and choose an option from the pick list that displays. I'll select I have attempted to contact, and notice that when I click Save, it also appeared down here. So again, this is a repeated information at the top of the screen. As you add other pieces of information, you can also include notes for this record. In the related list at the left, I see that there are 3 notes already entered for Lance. I can click on the Notes related item to quickly scroll to that area of Lance's record. In this case, I see that 3 people from my team have actually been working with Lance. Bill, which is my login persona again, met Lance at a Christmas party. Candace had some discussions with him on a facility in Texas, and UR did a credit check on him. I can add an additional note by just going to the Add a Note area and entered, talked with him today and things are moving along. And then click Save. Notice how each of these notes have a bold area that's called a title. I'm going to go back in and edit my note by pointing to the note and clicking the Edit pencil icon. Then adding a title of Moving Along. Titles are like keywords that help you quickly scroll through a lot of notes to locate the note that you want to review at a later time. Notice at the left that there are other related lists that can also be associated with the current record. You can add attachments. I see here's a planned activity that Candace has. It's easy to add an activity by pointing to the activities at the left and clicking the plus sign. I could add a task, which is the same as a to-do, or an event, which is something that goes on a calendar, or I could add a call. I can see a closed activity or a history that just shows me that UR did a credit check. As I scroll down, I can see that Bill sent an email confirming lunch for tomorrow. If I just click on this email, it'll pop up and I can see the text of the email that was sent. If you decide to use Zoho Campaigns, which is similar product to Constant Contact or other mass email app, you can see the results of any email campaigns that you've sent to him. For example, did he click on it or did he open it? Finally, there is the social feature in Zoho that allows you to see if someone is talking about you on Twitter or other social media. You can also see the social stream of this contact and what they're saying on Twitter or other social media. Let's go back and look at contacts next. Notice that there are a lot of contacts in our database. When you click on any module name in the menu, you always get a list view of records. If you and your team are scheduling activities in your database, you will see visual reminders in that left of each record. It will display as red for an overdue task, or gold for things that are scheduled for today, or green indicating activities scheduled for the future. Also, the type of activity will be displayed as a calendar or a checklist or a phone call icon. At the bottom left of the list, I can get a total count of how many records I have. You can see I have 288. Each user can also determine the number of records to display in their list at any given time. You can have up to 100 at a time, or 50 if you are in the free edition. Use the arrow at the bottom to move to the next group of records. There are 3 ways to search for records in Zoho. When you're ready to search for a record, you might use the search bar in the upper right of the screen. All you have to do is enter any word here. For example, I'm going to enter the word great and press enter. When I look at the results, I can see that I have accounts with the word great included in the name, like Great Atlantic or Great Northern. I can see contacts where somewhere in their record the word great will be found. For example, James and Tommy and Lewis have great in their email address. These other contacts in some way are related to the word great. I don't know exactly how, but if I opened their record, I would find the word in one of the fields. Here's an event with great in it. Here are notes that contain the word great. For example, this one indicates met Lance at the country club Christmas party. He would be a great client for us. So this search area finds information that you want no matter which module it's in. If I were searching for Great Northern Railroad in particular, I would click on the account record to display it. When it opens, I can see 5 most recently edited contacts in the shaded information panel here at the top. I can click on the notes at the left to immediately move to that area to see all of the notes for this account, regardless of whether the note was made on the actual account or it was made on one of the contacts that are related to the account record. I can see that we have quite a few contact records that are related to this account as well. So if I click on any record, like Tommy Morgan, to see more information about him, I can quickly see if there are any notes. But if he wasn't the person I wanted, I can easily go back by clicking this back arrow to go to the accounts to see more. Notice that the fields that are maintained on the account record, in particular, we have website information. We have the ability for this account to belong to a parent account. So if there's a holding company, we can identify it here. You can have internal account numbers, identify industry, annual revenue, different kinds of information that may be important to you or may not be important to you. If I want to go back and look at that contact record I was just looking at, but I can't remember who I picked, let's look at the second way you can search. Notice at the bottom right there's a little clock. Clicking here displays the last 20 records that I have most recently visited. I can easily return to Tommy Morgan's record by clicking on it. There are also different fields on the contact record than the account, or for that matter from a lead record, because as you know more about the contact, you'll have more pieces of information that you can fill in. In this particular case, we wanted to know what's their bank association, where did they go to school, or are they the key influence for this account. These, by the way, are custom fields that we added to our Zoho account because they were important to the kinds of things we wanted to keep track of. Notice that we also have a custom field that we added to indicate the status, which we have marked as prospect, even though his account is Great Northern. Again, Great Northern is just the company that Tommy works for. There's a third way to search for records. When you're in a list view, meaning you clicked on the module name in the menu and the list of records in that module displays, in this view you will see a filter panel at the left. If you don't see it, click this tiny arrow to collapse or display it again. But using the filter panel, I can filter all of the records by those with or without an activity. I can search for records where I entered a note in the last few days. But most importantly, I can search by any field. Let's say I want a list of all contacts with the first name of Andrew. I want to filter by the values in the first name field. So I don't see the first name field over here at the left right away, so I will click on the looking glass field at the top of the list and start to type the field name that I want to filter by, which is first name. Once I see the field, I'll click on the checkbox at the left. I'm not sure if the person I want to find is Andrew or Andy, so I will change the is option to starts with and type in AND. then click Apply. Voila. So now you have 3 ways to search. I can search here, or here, or here. Let's clear this search and go back to the Leads module and look at Lance in more detail. I can click that Recent Items icon or type his name at the top of the screen. There are lots of ways to move around in Zoho that make it very easy. In this case, I'm just going to click on his name, Lance Parks, and pull him up into the detail view. As we go through this sales process, I might say, yes, this lead definitely has potential for us, so let's convert it. When I convert this lead, the Yellow Jersey Bikes will become an account with that name, and Lance will be moved to the Contacts module. He will no longer be in the Leads module. Every field value that we have here, including all of the notes that we've taken on him and activities scheduled, will automatically be converted into the Contact and the Accounts modules. So let's convert Lance very quickly. Notice that it says Create New Account and Create New Contact. I can create a deal at the same time, so let's do that. I don't know what the amount is for right now, so I'm just going to leave that blank. I always like to add more information in the deal name to remind me of what the opportunity concerns. So he has a new facility we're talking about. He's going to be making a decision by the end of the quarter, so I'll enter that date here. For the deal stage, well, we've already passed the qualification stage in our initial discussions, and I'm in the needs analysis stage. Notice that he responded to an email campaign, or maybe we met him at a trade show, so the campaign will be associated with the new deal going forward. I'm going to mark him as the decision maker as his contact role. Bill will continue to be the contact owner of the record, though we could assign it to another team member before we convert it. Let's just click Convert. Now Zoho is asking, where do you want to go now? Do you want to go to the account? Do you want to go to the contact record? Do you want to go to the deal to fill out more information? Or do you want to just go back to work on more of your leads? Let's go to the contact record. Notice all of the field values came forward. All of the notes came forward with the planned activities and history. Everything moved with the record and stayed intact, so I don't have to worry about losing anything. Now I also have a deal. If I want to go look at the deal specifics, I can just click on it. I can update once I'm in the deal, I can update the record with more information. For example, I could enter my strategy in the next steps field on what I'm planning to do to help me close this deal. I might change the stage of the deal to IDing other decision makers just by pointing to and clicking the new stage here at the top of the screen. I might finally add a value of $50,000. No dollar signs or commas, please. Zoho will automatically add these once you click Save. Notice if I scroll down, I can still see open activities, even though the activity is not necessarily related to the deal. I can click on Yellow Jersey to go to the account, or I can click on Lance's name to go to his record. I hope you can see that it's very easy to move around in Zoho just by clicking on different areas. I'm going to go back to leads and show you that Lance is not there anymore. Once a lead is converted, he's moved to the contact and account record and can never be converted back to a lead. Okay, so let's look at the deals module and the list in specific. By default, the deals module displays in vertical columns that represent the stages of your deals. This vertical display makes it easy to go through all of your deals and update the stages by dragging a deal from one column to another. Though actually I prefer the horizontal list display. This view allows me to more easily sort through my list by clicking on column headers. But it's easy to switch back and forth between the two displays. Notice that in the upper left corner of my list view, there's a drop-down that displays all of the views available for filtering the current module. For instance, in addition to all deals, I can display my deals. or closing this month, or new deals this week. Each view will contain a different total of records and most likely display different columns. So it's very easy to look at different filtered views just by selecting from the drop-down. Let's look at the Contacts module. Notice it also has a drop-down of list views as well. You can modify which fields display in any of the selected views. For instance, in the Contacts module, I don't like the default All Contacts view because it doesn't include the account name. Notice that when I point to the view name, I can click the Edit button to allow me to make changes. I'm just going to take account name and drag it to the display list right next to the contact's name. And I also want to see the contact owner, or which team member owns that record. After I'm finished, I'll click Save. Now, look at how much more useful this view is. I can see not only the name of the person, but the associated company at the right, and over here I can see the owner of these records. Keep in mind that when you make changes to any of the list views, the changes are reflected for all users in your company, so you'll want to be careful about the changes that you make. Let's take a really quick view at the Activities module. By default, the list of all activities is just displayed in this vertical view, which is great for analyzing how you're spending your time with contacts or with open deals or with customers. However, I think most people will feel more comfortable with the horizontal list view of activities. You'll also want to filter the view from all activities, which includes open and closed and those belonging to every team member in the company, to a more meaningful view like My Open Activities. Finally, I told you I wanted to come back to the Home view last. The Home view is comprised of up to 10 components in a dashboard style view. Any changes you make to the home screen here will only be reflected in your Zoho. Everyone's home screen can be configured differently, so you might want to change some of your dashboard panels based on views that are relevant to you and to your job. The default panel at the top left is Open Tasks. This component displays everyone's open task. If you recall, Candace was going to call Lance regarding the new facility. I don't want to see Candace's planned activities. I want to see only my tasks. So let's click the Edit button here and say, I don't want to see open tasks. I want to view today's tasks. Or maybe I want to see my open tasks, which is much better. When I select a different view, I'll also change the title so it's the same as well. So now I can see that I have no open tasks. I don't have any leads today, but I can see what things are closing this month, what things I have in the pipeline. You can play with your home screen by adding another component. Scroll to the bottom of the home view and click on the plus sign. Then you'll indicate what module you want. I might select Deals and then select something like Closing Next Month, and then just give it a title of Closing Next Month as well. I always give the panel the same name as the view name that I selected. So now every time you log in, you have an overview of what's going on in your Zoho. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, do me two favors. One, subscribe to the channel so that you'll get an email notice each time I upload a new video. And two, go to my website, zcrmhelp.com, and sign up for my Zoho tips. While you're there, if you like, you can order a copy of my book, Zoho CRM Quick Study Guide. It'll help you be even more productive in your use of Zoho. Until next time.